Things are now underway. Boggs finally into the server and ready to start. Rock Bottom again start on the defensive side here. Killjoys mirrored across, Sova's mirrored across. Phoenix versus Breach, though, is going to be a little bit different. I think Breach is a lot more oppressive, but a lot less aggressive. So we'll have to see a lot more team cohesion and unity on the side of Rock Bottom here.
Yeah, it's a team that doesn't have the most in terms of recent results, so I'm wondering if that team play and cohesion is going to be there for them. That's a big question mark for me. You mentioned that with the Breach being more of an oppressive agent and not the aggressive go-getter. We'll see if they can make things work here. They do start on the defense, so that could be a good spot for them to gel, but it also could be a little bit of a risk, as you could get the pace given to you. Can't really set the pace on the defense as well as you can on the offense. Let's see what TLC wants to do here, strolling up towards A-Long. 3 players over towards the A vicinity from Rock Bottom. Mid completely abandoned by the defensive squad. And only 1 jet out towards mid for TLC, so nothing all too concerned about mid, which is, I think, a little interesting.
It was a passive setup from Rock Bottom. They're holding for the cat push from the grass area. That being said, they weren't worried at all about the walk up middle. Also due to the turret there in the boathouse, I believe, holding just a little pixel angle, could just barely see over the top. That being said, if we had an Omen in the server, teleport across might have been something spicy. That being said, nothing such as that occurs. Teal Team now rotates around towards B, and they'll have to go through all of this utility on the site here.
There's so much utility. The turret has been dealt with, opening as the dash comes through. 2 players here to defend. Rotations will come in. Here comes the push, though. Sheriff in hand for T. Matt with 1. 7 trades it out, and 7's flipping around back and forth. They still have not found out about the Astra and back sight, but no. Shrouts dropped by the Phoenix, who gets both entries, but now it's a 3v3 as the Sova strikes for 1 more. Shock darts to force him away as he rotates in through defender's spawn. Turret has been eliminated now, 3v3 still in hand, but no duels on the side of Teal Seam. Dash from Hijinks, the Killjoy backed away. Net fighting and winning that duel with a Sheriff in hand. The Sheriff seemed to be all out in force for Teal Seam as time starts to tick a little more, but here comes Win. Another flash bang through. Larry blind. Larry tapping, but Larry has... Oh, no! Net came in to help! I thought Larry landed that headshot, but Net bails him out from behind. Regardless of the end kill, Teal Seam grabbed the round.
Very good take against just a site filled with utility. We had Killjoy there, again, present to hold middle passively with the turret on the boathouse. We had the Astra there as well. I'm surprised they got in as fast as they did and as cleanly as they did, given all of the cantrips scattered around the site. Very well done from Teal Team to get control and obviously win the round here.
No real force up here from Rock Bottom either. Classics across the board, so probably will be a second on the board for Teal Seam, unless the Classics can show some magic. Pistols always seem to be able to manage something or other at some point in the game. We'll see if that ends up happening here for Rock Bottom. Teal Seam spreading around the map, very similar to what they played in the last round. 1 towards middle, 1 towards B garage, and the rest towards A early on. Net spots out one, the turret helping out, but it will not force Matt all the way back. Matt's still holding very, very close. A very risky call, I do believe, but got to take some risks with these pistols and maybe catch somebody off guard. A nice little dink comes through, but Sheriff reigns supreme on the server. T with the next one on the board, and the rotations are coming through here.
That's nice.
Whack. Yeah.
Well done with the recon dart to find when door closes on Hijinks, though, unfortunate. 3 versus 4, still an opportunity for Rock Bottom to find some damage here, especially with as aggressive as they are. The Classics already close. That's where they get spicy. Hijinks, though, taken out by Net on the Sheriff once again. The Sheriff again can't quite find the third, unfortunately. When we'll find that, Larry Banks, though, trades back in turn. It's my authority. He got one earlier from spawn with the recon dart assist. No, he can't find another Cade on site. We'll take him down at range. And it will be an expected second round from TLC. That being said, there was 2 casualties in the round from those Classics.
Yeah, 2 kills, not too shabby, as we'll see full rifles up on the board for Rock Bottom now. Phantoms on 3, Vandals on 2, and the buy for TLC will be a little more akin to a bonus. Although 7's debating going for a Vandal will indeed end up with that gun. Net's taking a hit, though, and going for a Sheriff instead, so it is a bonus round coming in from TLC. What do you think about this call, Nate?
It's interesting. Net's now been on the Sheriff for 3 rounds in a row. I didn't expect it in the second round, let alone here and now versus the full buy of Rock Bottom. We'll have to see how it works out. He has found success with it, so it could indeed work out just fine. That being said, I am a bit worried. The run it back, though, will be the thing to open it up. 7 running through the dash on site. It's going to be a very quick take to take down the range. Again, these weapons shine most when they're close at hand. The Bulldog below does get tagged down, but the plant will come through, and now the ball is in Rock Bottom's court. They have to retake this site here.
Look at Tidy's health, though. 1 solitary point, as it's still technically a 5v5, but the Jet is just about out of commission. Retake will be coming through. It's going to be a tough one. See what abilities are still up, and I want to see how the Breach can factor into this, because I think the Breach is so good on retakes like this. Hijinks looking for something zany, catches off nothing as Cage swings for 1. Matt there for the trade. The Breach is out, but TyT manages 1 with 1 HP. Shrouds with another. Wind pops in, and it's all now turning to the favor of Rock Bottom. This is a 3v2 in favor of the defensive side. Shrouds pushing in Larry Banks, and a crossfire with Net, who lands a second one. Sheriff's shot. What a round there from Net in the end. Larry Banks holding 2. And the Killjoy on the Sheriff grabs both. Wow.
Net. I was saying I was a bit worried about the Sheriff. He had it now for 3 out of the 4 rounds.
Favor the defensive side.
And
Shrouds pushing in Larry Banks, and a crossfire with Net.
Look at that clean double, catching one of the 2 swinging close and finding the second on the peak. Very well done from the Sheriff, and that just furthers Teal Seam's dominance thus far. Now 3-0. It's another save. Sheriffs in light shields for the defending side, and Rock Bottom, they might be reaching Rock Bottom soon if they don't turn things around here.
Hijinks gets caught out in the suck, and then the fire will not be carrying on through the flames as early pick goes the way of Teal Seam. The first time I think they've had such an early advantage so far throughout these 4 rounds. I want to know what Rock Bottom want to do, though, once they get back on the guns, because so far they haven't had all too much success. A 5v5 retake started to go their way, but then that crossfire of the last 2 just seemed to be all too impossible to deal with. Net getting a kill with the Vandal this time. Might just chime in for a second, will indeed. Net's on a bit of a tear here. Yes, it is against Sheriffs in light armor, but still showing good prowess. I believe that's the 8th kill in the first 4 rounds. Might grab a 9th, will indeed. Cade chimes in for another elsewhere on the map. Clean anti-force buy or anti-half buy round from Teal Seam. Yeah, 9-1 for Net to kick things off.
And I think 6 of those kills come from Sheriffs. Am I wrong in saying that? I'm pretty sure he has Sheriff
you are correct in saying that.
Wow. Net, he has the same amount of kills as his next 3 teammates combined. Very well done from him. And now that he has the Vandal, he should look scary. It's just a better Sheriff. It fires faster, it has a spray down if you miss the shot. Net is looking scary on the Killjoy of all agents, as he might just be the star in this game.
Yeah, Killjoy on the attack. Not just a Killjoy in general, but Killjoy on the attack right now. I mean, the duelists are getting the information for the most part for Teal Seam, but Net just is there to clean up the mess. Matt, though, back boxes, needs to show up. Huge, but aid the Astra. Popping the grape and getting the opener for Teal Seam. My Authority trying to get some information back on this one, and a Rolling Thunder coming through. But it's not going to blind or stun anybody whatsoever. Win will manage 1, traded back by the Astra. TyT keeping an eye on things up towards heaven, trying to keep things clean. Gets chunked down, though, by the Shock Dart. This might just be a save from Rock Bottom, though there's not... With the bomb, the spike hasn't gone down. I thought the spike had been down a while ago. It still hadn't, but look at this from Net! Again, it's Net! And the wall is up. TyT with the last. Net is absolutely incredible.
Jump up through the wall, no respect to close it out as well. That round reminded me very much of the bonus round, albeit to much greater success and with a slightly slower play towards Catwalk as well. Net, again, as you mentioned, a hero finding a big double on Catwalk, effectively shutting down any chance Rock Bottom had at retaking and furthering the score to 5-0. Again, on a save for Rock Bottom, things are looking dire at this point. We have Sheriffs, we have Light Armor, but those have been unable to find success at any point thus far in the game. And we're almost halfway through this first half.
We are indeed. We're at the halfway mark as this round is currently being played. And Rock Bottom, I'm not going to say they've hit it just yet, but they're getting pretty darn close, man. There's a heavy sinker tied to their necks, and Larry Banks will make things a little bit worse. My Authority! Okay, there's one. Go back away. Not be able to salvage a gun. That'll be shuffled back. Wise choice there by Teal. Seems as the juggling act will bring it all the way back to Gelato. Net has a lockdown, but it's dealt with a turret of the enemy squad. Both Killjoys having their ultimates and a Hunter's Fury in effect for the Sova on rock bottom. But still, this bulk group up towards the B site, which is only defended by one player, could end in disaster here for rock bottom unless Matt grabs at least two. In comes the lockdown, but here comes a lineup. 1-2 spray out of ammunition to the Spectre, but he's made ghosts of two. And here comes the dash with the Blade Storm. Cade has to equalize here. And now there's been a little bit more. The vulnerability comes through. Oh, Matt, or Authority rather, gets the next. It's all down to Cade, but it's the Sheriffs. The Sheriffs again, this time for rock bottom, bringing them up to above the water.
Operator recovered as well. I didn't even notice that TYTI had it. So that's a big win. Big win for rock bottom. They get the Operator now in their own hands. They get a Sheriff round win. That has to give you some confidence, even if it was off of the heroics of the SMG in towards B main. And now, hopefully we can have a game here. I think rock bottom are trying to just get warmed up, get comfortable, and from here on out, we should have a more cohesive defensive side here.
And Hijinks opens his account now with that Operator pick onto Tidy. That's a great start to kick things off, and something that rock bottom have not had, I believe, ever, is that opening pick. So let's see if they can build upon this still. 6 rounds, counting this one to go. They could still theoretically win the half or even bring it to a tie at 6 apiece. Larry getting the Hunter's Fury through, and Matt gets caught in it. No escape for the prey. Hijinks, though. Good aggressive angle on Cat. Has Win watching out towards tiles. That's why the confidence is there. And Win might just be fought upon by Net.
Timing's everything here. And I think timing's going to work in the way of Teal. I'm sure that Net's going to wait for the contact to come through in hopes of catching a rotation out. He might just catch the Operator as well if they choose to aggressively rotate to the middle. That being said, it's getting shut down before it starts by Authority, and Win find one apiece. Larry Banks will still push forward into this little cubby area along with his teammate Astra, but things are looking dire already. Swings coming through. Larry Banks will find the first at least, but now he's stuck in and close, stunned as well. He's being bullied out of the cubby. Win will find that. The spike will go down, but now 3 players to find Cade. It's in his name. He can find the first, but not the second. My Authority will trade it out. And with that, rock bottom will take their second round in a row, bringing it to 2-5.
My Authority establishing some authority here on the server, getting rock bottom back into this game. I want to see what Teal Seam's buy is going to be like now, because they've lost some players. Okay, they still have quite a bit of money. Here we go, the Hunter's Fury from Larry Banks on the replay. Yeah, this is going to be a critical rebuy, I think, for the side of Teal Seam. Oh, that's perfect information on that. My Authority doing good work on the Sova. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been getting good recon darts. He's setting himself up. He's also helping his teammates out. Well done. Well done on Sova, rather.
Extremely well done.
Yeah, Net slowed down a bit here. We saw him use one ultimate, and of course it was shut down by the push from the SMG on the eco round. Hijinks getting into some hijinks towards middle, finds one, not quite the second. Cade does find Net, but he's still being pressured by this Hunter's Fury. Things are incredibly awkward as Teal Seam are on the back foot here. They will recover and look to go towards A main. That being said, Droughts is here and ready. He'll shut down the run it back and get away as well. Net no ensures he finds that kill. The lineup comes in. My Authority's only good for 1 though. Larry Banks trades his double, and with that, the site will fall. 3 versus 2, anybody's round. It's looking incredibly scary as Cade puts the spike down. Net is again on catwalk, and he's ready to shut down any push through the grass area here.
That was a great flash to open things up for Hijinks, but now things have flipped back to the side of Teal Seam. Cosmic Divide going through too, and rock bottom. They're going to call it quits here, Nate. The white flag is being waved. They've bailed out of this one, conceding a 6th to Teal Seam. They've at least secured a tie half. It looks so good at the start from rock bottom, though.
I like the idea they had. They had the pressure towards the long area, A long, because they knew that that was where the run it back came from. They knew that orb was always going the way of the Phoenix, and then they hoped that the aggression towards Catwalk would catch them off on the fallback, and it almost did. If the headshot did not come in on the from the second player on towards Hijinks, he might have found 3 kills there. That's just how it happens sometimes, though, and early plays do not always pay off. They either make the round or they break it in many situations.
Well, something that could make or break a round is now in effect, Nate. It could be Judge, Jury. Oh, it got sold. I was hoping for the Judge play. I was so hoping for the Judge play. We do have an Odin, though, and it's in the hands of my Authority, who's been so effective with those recon bolts. This could be a very deadly choice.
Oh, it's the dash and flash out towards middle, in towards the tile. Hijinks is so aggressive here. They've swapped things up so quickly. They want to change up the pace. That being said, it seems like Teal seem to have an idea as to what's happening. Yeah, DY holding that exact push. 7 will accordingly push towards A, and he'll find a free site here. Plant will go down. That being said, the Killjoy will come in response. And now this post plant is going to get very awkward as these players kind of have to fall out of the site.
Let's see if Rock Bottom want to attempt this retake, because, again, 5 players defending the site. I think it all relies on my Authority getting some good information or even a kill with a shock dart. The recon bolt goes through. Shrouds drops a smoke. But that recon bolt reveals nothing. 7 has 2 for 1. Quinn gets doubled back, but he has to get an ace now. He has a third, but can Quinn manage the clutch? No. Cade uses the information of the alarm bot, swings out from behind his hidey hole, and Teal seem 7-2. A very strong lead moving into another anti-force by Rock Bottom, who are going to be on Sheriffs yet again. Nate, it's starting to spiral real out of control now.
They started looking better. I had some hope after 2 rounds in a row that they might have finally equalized and figured something out. That being said, we're back to square one. Very well done from 7. He was standing crouched on the jump up to the upper balcony towards Heaven on the A site, and he stood up at the perfect time to find a double there. That was where that big 2K came from. That being said, Rock Bottom are struggling here. It will be a straight B play from Teal. Nothing too fancy here. They know the economy's in a bad place for their opponents, and 7 finds the opening. Nice shot through the smoke. And with that, the B site falls. There's no one else present on the site.
And again, it's 5 alive in the post plant for Teal Seam. That's never a good equation if you are on the retake. I'm starting to worry a little bit. They're going to go for it. They should. They have Sheriffs, nothing to lose. But actually, they get the opening kill. But Larry Banks on the Hunter's Fury. Shrouds, however, brings it back to a 2v3. But no. Larry Banks 2 on the Hunter's Fury. And my Authority, 21 HP, barely dodges death from a shock dart. Jumps around and stays alive after 2. Sends 1 in, gets some damage in, but it will not be enough for anything on the board. Larry Banks with a hat trick. Close, but no cigar despite the individual effort right there.
Nice double from Larry Banks on the Hunter's Fury to keep the defenders from retaking the site. Those Sheriffs can easily mob up and get control, especially with those 2 picks there. If those rifles fall into their hands, it becomes an entirely different round. That being said, that round is for an alternate reality. 2-8 is the score. Another buy is on the board for Rock Bottom. But I'm worried. We don't have Hijinks on the op. I would love to see him have more impact with that weapon. And I don't think he's going to go for another flashy, quick play. So back to the default, which has had very little success for Rock Bottom.
Let's go!
Rolling Thunder to go for aggression, but it will not reveal anything at all. Hijinks, however, will swing, and Larry Banks will hit the dirt. So an opening pick for Rock Bottom. They'll need to be able to build upon it, however. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think that Rolling Thunder really amounted to all too much. Let's see what TLC want to do, though. They have the op out towards mid in the hands of Tidy. Spike down towards spawn, but still towards the A side. Garage control being taken. This could all be a diversion. Run it back activated by 7. Flash through the smoke. And there goes the turret. It doesn't look like it's going to net all too much. Flash on side actually might get the kill here. No. Run it back expires. But look at the A site. The fake has worked, Nate. It's wide open for business, and they can get a free plant. But no, they're waiting too long. They're working back right into the hands of the CT side.
No, Tidy's into the perfect spot here. Look at this, swinging in. He won't connect any shot. It's so awkward. He won't even get away. Oh, Teal seemed slowly picked apart. It was so good getting up grass there, but it just falls apart. Win will do his best to try and recover the run. He finds one, Net finds a second. No, Win. Still on the site. Spike isn't even down. This is the round done and dusted virtually. 7 was the run it back towards B. He'll have to come in and retake for the Spike. Time is of the essence, and he won't find anything. Quinn will be the one with the big 4K. A third round for Rock Bottom. Off of a bit of a misplay from Teal Team, I must say. You were right. They over-aggressed through a main in towards the grass instead of getting that spike down when they had the opportunity. It was a good idea, but in the end, if you can't hit the shots, it just will fall apart very quickly.
Yeah, there was a little bit of armchair quarterbacking there. I mean, we can see everything they can't, but still, you gotta wonder if you should just have the spike on site there in that play and not push that spike into a vulnerable area. You don't know if your opposition's pulled onto that hook and taken a hook, line, and sinker, which Rock Bottom did, but they had made their fall away. Lockdown execute could be commencing here on the A side, though, for TLC, as there's only one round left in the half. This one that we are playing right now, Cosmic Divide goes up towards Heaven, and Matt's just going to chill out behind it. Free spike plant should come through. See if Tidy wants to go full aggro up in Heaven. No, he'll just clear under instead. But Matt's just biding time, waiting for an opportunity to swing through. And Shock Dart comes in, will not do damage. 5v5 retake. Much like the first gun round, and it starts much the same. Tai T opening things up.
This is very awkward, I must say. Again, the utility can just bully them back Heaven, and they'll have to go through grass, and from there it's just a major choke point. When in Astro here trying to hold things down, they will get the turret. That's the first cantrip in their way, but there are many more present on this attacking side. Teal seem to have complete control here. Again, time is of the essence. The flash again bullies away Hijinks. The operator can find nothing here. Finally, the Cosmic Divide will come through. Shrouds will now push it to work. It's a nice shot, but not a kill. Seven finds that. My Authority is going to trade, but Tidy finds one. It's trades on trades on trades, with the last 2 kills will cement the round. They both go the way of Teal Seam and give us a 9-3 scoreline. A very, very dominant start on the attacking side for Teal Seam here.
Incredibly solid. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a recap, though, and look at what happened while we have a bit of a time to talk things over. This double from Matt was critical and got the first round on the board for Rock Bottom. Authority had some great plays, too. That flash for Hijinks, absolutely great. Just look at that again. That's a free kill
HP.
Right there.
2 HP. If K didn't find that, that would have been a nice 3K. Again, the Hunter's Fury coordinated towards Long to really try to shut things down and create some chaos. Didn't quite work in their favor that time around, but it was a good idea from Rock Bottom. That being said, looking at the Teal Team side of things, Ned is slowed down, but his teammates have sped up. He is 14, and 2 players right behind him are at 12 apiece. The round starts, though, with Rock Bottom on the catwalk. Hijinks will open it up. The Duelist on the Jet with the Frenzy here.
20 HP. Oh, that's a bit of damage, Nate. It's a lot of bit of damage, and they will think better of it. The Breach Flash don't affect. It will not play a part just yet. Alarm Bot reveals positioning. In goes the flash, but nobody's playing in market. Look at Larry. Solo hold on the B side. Gonna have to do it all alone for now. Might get one, maybe a second. Has a Frenzy in hand, so potential for a multi-kill if they push in. Oh, that fault line's gonna be so good right there. And Win lets Hijinks get a free kill. Retake already here, though. 2 players in CT and another gonna come through market, it seems. Shroud's gonna be forced back behind the boathouse. Hijinks exposed, could get caught. There's a turret to back up. My Authority watching for the B main play, and no! What? Oh! 4 right clicks will get traded, but that should be enough to seal the deal here. 1 HP for Tai T. Cade has to do it all. Has 2. Can Cade live up to the namesake? I don't know, Nate. Even then, it should not equate to a win. Would need the namesake plus 2.
Seems near impossible, but never say never. A third on the round. He avoids the fault line. He'll spray, but the spray betrays him. Matt on the Frenzy as well. The Frenzy duel will win it in the end. That being said, a nice attempt, all things considered. Rock Bottom, though, will stay alive here. 4th round on the board. They have some breathing room now, as Teal Team should be on a save, and this is their opportunity to make a run here on the attacker side.
It's their chance, their opportunity to make a run here and try and tie things up and win this map. If Teal Team get to 10, I fear for Rock Bottom's chances here, but this is a prime opportunity for Rock Bottom to keep them off and close that gap before the guns fully come out on Teal Team. They have a shorty and some pistols assorted. It's far from a goodbye. But Rock Bottom are playing this nice and slow. They do have a bit of a mid-probe, though, coming through. And I do like that. Garage under the control of Teal Team, but they could get flanked upon. The spike over towards B. I still feel that mid-probe is going to be the make-or-break part of this round. Hijinks gets caught in the suck, though. 7 flashes in. There's flames on it, too. But nobody's going down on either side just yet.
Very slow round. Rock Bottom just wanted to show presence, maybe get the orb. They won't quite get it. Teal Team were fighting for it for dear life. Being said, it is a very slow round. We crossed the minute mark. Spike is still sitting, I'd say, rather precariously alone towards B, but the turret's there to support as well, so nothing much happening as of yet. Larry Banks is playing mid proper, just jump spotting, trying to get information. Being said, it does look like Rock Bottom want to go towards middle and through market once again.
Here comes the kill. Shrouds opens things up. But still, time is getting a little bit lower. Tidy has one on the shorty. Upgrades, but falls down. Kate, instantaneous trade as Teal Team keep things level at a 2v2. Net and 7, making a 1v3 for my Authority, who has the first. We'll have to get that spike down to his time is of the essence. Time now the ally of Teal Team, though, but my Authority swings around, jumps with the classic, and it is, of course, the classic right click that wins it all. Rock Bottom stay alive, and it's my Authority in the clutch.
That's the reason you stay on the 1vx player right there, my Authority. Pulling it off with fashion, might I add. A nice shot onto the first 29 HP. Just sends it for the committal jump with the classic. The right click when you need it to hit most. Finds its mark, hits its mark, and keeps Rock Bottom on this run. It was a very close round, so they'll have to fully reinvest. No real bonus round to speak of. And in fact, it will be a somewhat compromised buy on 2 Bulldogs, but it's more than enough to get the job done if the shots do land.
That was still a more scary round than it needed to be for Rock Bottom as Teal Team came within a hair's breadth of pulling this off. Tidy opens things up, jet on jet violence. There's Hijinks down for the count. Now they're going to run into Cade, who's actually been eliminated first, so the Astra will find nothing. 7, however, will eliminate 1 on the Vandal, throws in the hot hands too. Does some chip damage, but it's not going to equate to a kill. The rotations are back in from Teal Team, but look at the flank from Wynn coming in for Rock Bottom. That could be a big play right now. Smoke up on the door, but a free kill for Shrouds playing around the Nebula. Tidy, though, has the trade coming down to the wire. My Authority in from one angle. The sandwich from Wynn coming up from top.
Larry finds the first, though. It's all on Wynn. He finds 2. Doesn't quite find the 3rd as of yet. In fact, he won't even find it. The defuse does come through. Wynn's just too late, and Larry Banks will find the final kill to add insult to injury. Teal Team take the round, the rifle round. It was a very costly round, but a win is a win. They just need 3 more now to close it out, and Rock Bottom still have 8 rounds that they want to close it out here.
8 rounds? No, Nate. It's getting real messy right now. Quinn almost pulling it back, but the stick from Larry Banks. What's the old saying? Pros don't fake. Larry did not relinquish that spike. And it was a gutsy play that worked out for Teal Team. These rounds coming down to the wire, but it seems Rock Bottom unable to really push them over the line when it counts. A double judge up in effect for Teal Team. This could get fun. Look at the first one. It's the jet in the cubby. Flashbang out, but they're not going to clear out the jet just yet. Let's see what Tidy can do. 1 for the first. Jumps in for a second. Not going to grab it just yet. Wynn pushes the issue, and the reload comes in net there to back things up. And now the Blade Storm is out for Tidy. A swing from My Authority will yield nothing but a couple kunai running by the wayside. and 7 elsewhere on towards A. Hope. Oh, the close wall. Matt running in, and another judge kill. Curveball out. Shroud's forced away. Spike on the Astra's back. But look at 7 still holding. Never going to relinquish the spot. We'll go back for more, I do believe. My Authority gets a kill. Oh, the Ghost out now. And Net's going to get this flank onto My Authority. Backstab and brain shot. Shroud's on 6 HP. Going to do something. That something probably will end up... Okay. Get out of dodge, Net.
20 seconds left, though. They have him isolated towards his spawn. He has 6 HP. There's no chance. Larry Banks going for the headshot. He will eventually connect the body shot to finish it off. 11-5. Teal Team take the round, as you'd expect. That being said, the judge is very oppressive towards these choke points in B and A main, respectively. What a peek. Jet takes down her double. Yet a nice flank, timely flank to catch My Authority. And, of course, the final player, Shrouds, does put up a fight, finding 1, but 1 is not enough. It's going to be 11-5 again. 2 rounds for Teal Team, and they will have the map. They'll have the game as well. This is a best of 1. And it's looking difficult for Rock Bottom here.
GSL group, so each team will have an opportunity to win their group, and each team will have an opportunity to get out of the elimination. Teal Team looking to go into the winners matchup, and Rock Bottom trying to stay out of the losers bracket. Net, Nebula to back again. That should destruct the scanners, but look at that owl drone. All the information right there. My Authority had some good stuff on Silva, but Teal Team can answer just the same. Larry Banks coming in with a nice little spot. Now let's see what Rock Bottom want to do. Just under a minute on the clock, so time's starting to dwindle for them. They're still grouped up towards B, but Larry Banks still watches. He still waits. Recon Bolt will come through to reveal position. Larry Banks could just counter with one of his own. And in comes the Rolling Thunder. Larry Banks forced away. Does not have the Recon Bolt. And the Aftershock Hunter's Fury combination. Larry Banks bullied out of the sight. Hijinks comes in with a kill onto Net. And Rock Bottom are not done just yet, Nate. 5 players on the hold. Cade coming in has to clear right the first time. Will not indeed, as Shrouds has 7 dead to rights. And Tidy, not much he can do to tidy this one up. In fact, it's Hijinks to mop it all up. 6 rounds on the board now for Rock Bottom. What a good bit of utility combination right there. Rolling Thunder, the Recon Dart getting all the information, and then the Hunter's Fury for the kill.
It was a flawless round. Very good from Team Rock Bottom. That being said, it was a massive economic toll in terms of ultimates. We saw the lockdown early on, if I'm not mistaken, shut down immediately. We saw the Hunter's Fury and the Rolling Thunder to bully Larry Banks on the site, but you can't consistently rely on that because now your ultimates are gone. You have to re-save up for them once again. That being said, they have put Teal Team on a pistol round, so this should be a victory for them once again, but it makes me worried. You cannot rely on your ultimates time and time again unless you're Phoenix, who's absolutely harvesting and getting his ultimate every other round.
That's the thing. The ultimates only come around every once in a while. They're not going to be something that can get you consistent rounds. You have to be able to manage without them, and that's something that Teal Team has done a prime job of doing. Hijinks getting side control, though, drops up a little bit of a smoke. Tidy waits on the outside. Spraying in with the frenzy. 7's actually going to go for the first. Cade with the second. Shrouds, though, farms up 2. Larry Banks, Hunter's Fury, already nets the first, but Tidy has fallen in the meantime, leaving it all down to Net and Larry Banks. Matt coming up. The spike yet to be planted as well. Matt has another nano swarm to be dropped down, but can the egg find anything? Larry Banks goes forward to his doom, but Net will get flanked upon. Huge play by Hijinks there, using the teammate as bait, but it worked out for another round. However, again, Teal Team with the pistols come within 1 kill of pulling it off.
That was incredibly close. Incredibly close. I cannot emphasize how close that was. Net knew the player was on site. He knew that the spike wasn't planted, so he knew in turn that the player should be on flank. That's a lot of knowing. It's a long branching of things, but Net, you saw him turn around. That was a one-on-one duel to the bitter end. Unfortunately, the Sheriff does not beat the Vandal, but it was a very, very close and contentious round. Again, within 1, and that last duel could go either direction.
Yeah, it's not consistent. It's not consistent at all, Nate. And Rock Bottom need to find ways to win these rounds in a cleaner fashion. You can't be relying on individual prowess in a 1vx to be able to pull that off. You need more consistency there.
Yes, you do. And again, they won round on ultimates. They won that very close pistol round. It makes me worried. Again, they need 6 more to close it out. And they need 5 more just to get to overtime. So it's looking very scary. Spike will go down, though, and we have another 5 versus 5 retake here.
Lockdown in. As the retake will come through. Cosmic Divide, drop down on Heaven to win. Aggressive for the first. Goes for more, but finds a bullet to the brain. Cade with 2. Looking for the 3K. Matt, however, will make sure that is not possible. Shroud still lurks underneath the Cosmic Divide. And that's Rock Bottom now with a 3v2. Matt making it a 3v1, all down to Tidy, who's just b-hopping away and sliding back with the operator in hand. Teal Seam will keep that to fight another day, but Rock Bottom have grabbed themselves an 8th round, 3 now separating the two teams, and then only 5 to be able to flip the script and take this one. Rock Bottom showing some new life here in the last few rounds.
Rock Bottom, a resurgence to say the least. They are looking good on these takes. I just said I was doubting it because, again, they lost 4 against pistols, and they won a round off of ultimates, which you can't consistently replicate. That being said, there's a chance here. They're within 3. Anything is possible at this point. They have the bye. They had the wind in their sails, and it looks like we do have a tactical timeout coming through.
Rock Bottom calling attack here. Bit of an interesting decision. Okay, maybe a tech instead then.
Interesting.
Teal Seam tech. Okay, there we go. That's the final verdict here. Is a tech for Teal Seam. I'm sure you'll probably end up seeing us unless this is rectified in a timely manner. But let's figure out what is going wrong for Teal Seam, Nate, because they looked so strong on the attack, but once we've swapped sides, Rock Bottom has seemed to take control. I think a lot of that has to do with that 1v3 by my authority on the BZ on pistol, but then a lot of it, too, seems to be stemming from Teal Seam just losing those opening duels.
Teal Seam on B specifically, I want to say, committing a player to the site, especially as aggressive as Larry Banks is, it really doesn't work out. The utility from the attacking side of Rock Bottom is able to just bully and virtually neutralize him before things even get started. We saw the Rolling Thunder and the Hunter's Fury taking him out before contact was even taken. We saw the split in from mid, pinching him effectively on the site and bullying him once again, this time with the fault line and catching him up before he could even do any damage. So I want to see Larry Banks either move or maybe some more support for him on this B side. That being said, we are back into it. The tech pause has finally been canceled, and we have a very odd buy for Teal Seam as they just try to buy some weapons around the operator that was saved in the round previous.
That operator going to need to stand tall, but it's a trade out as the op does get 1, but trades do favor the attacking side, Nate. And that's who got the first kill, and now the operator has been known and spotted. It's rotated around towards mid, but still, I fear for Teal Seam in this round, but they have been able to find some success with the pistol, so maybe my apprehension is a little misplaced given their past history. I do like the rotation from Rock Bottom, though, instead going out towards middle and looking like an A hit in the end. But Tidy's reading this well. A mid probe from my authority, though, could reveal a lot of information. There's only Cade really somewhere in the vicinity. That could be a good flank. That could be a really good flank.
And in fact, yeah, as you mentioned it, the one player kind of close towards middle, back towards B. So if the mid play did come through, he can find his way all the way through to a defender spawn. That being said, he'll play Catwalk instead. The attacker killjoy will come through. It will be a take towards this A site. The question is, how clean can it be? 4 versus 4. SD rifles will forward. That being said, Net is delaying and hopes the operator can find good positioning to catch these players as they swing out. Authority, though, does find Net. The detained player towards grass. Tidy, though, towards Heaven. Does find one with the operator with the recon dart assist. Pushing forward now, he spots the second as well. Tidy's in a bad spot, but it's not irrecoverable. Larry Banks at range finds one with the stinger, though Matt drops the important player of the hour, Tidy, taking out 2 versus 2 as the spike is planted. Shot Dart trying to buoy the players in towards heaven. It's Larry Banks and Cade left to retake with a Sheriff and a Stinger. They push forward. Cade finds the first. Matt gets a trade, but Cade has an opportunity. No, Matt underneath finds the hat trick, finds the round, and Rock Bottom will continue their tear with a score now of 9 within 2 of tying it up with Teal Seam here.
Rock Bottom, anything but right now. Like, they're bringing this back. They're finding that consistency, Nate. We brought that up a few rounds ago that they were really struggling to win good rounds. They were really struggling to win rounds without using those ultimates, and now they're finding successes. They're starting to make that more and more likely. And now, Nate, it's getting to the point where Teal Seam are going to really be feeling the pressure. Another round victory from Rock Bottom could put Teal Seam back on a broken bye and set this up for a tie scoreline at 11-11.
It's possible at this point. I came in as a Teal Seam fan. Again, we had so much more information on them. We've seen them before. Rock Bottom was a much more of a dark horse to me. They had a very difficult start. That being said, coming back as much as they have is very respectable. And just like that, win virtually shuts down the round before it even starts. A big double that goes unanswered towards A. Rock Bottom are looking great at this point. They'll group towards B. They'll try to take the site, and they should be able to relatively easily here. That being said, Killjoy is the anchor this time around.
Placing swamp grenade.
Killjoy being an anchor sets up all this utility spam towards the entrance that has been activated. Oh, here we go. Venn diagram chunking Hijinks down low. Hijinks still alive, as is the rest of Rock Bottom, but let's see if anything can come of it. Teal Seam down 2 players. They've even the score line. Larry Banks, though, down again. Net in back boathouse. Taking damage, but landing the kill. Needs to hit a second shot. Does indeed. The Phantom farming from net in boat. And he'll grab the third 2. Hat trick in the bag. And Teal Seam will grab match point here. But this is anything but over, Nate. Full buy again from Rock Bottom. That's only the 3rd round that Teal Seam have been able to salvage in this half. It was all down to net 2 holding the line. Let's watch this again. Messy first engagement, but the next 2 were anything but. Huge double doink there onto Shrouds. And then the spray through the box into Hijinks. Perfect work there by net.
And again, I have to mention that Caster's Curse, fantastic. And right when I said that Rock Bottom looked to shut down the round before it begins, and Rock Bottom push into the site with all the utility and let the Killjoy come in clutch when needed. Well done from Teal Seam to get to match point here. That being said, they are not across the finish line yet. As you mentioned, Rock Bottom will not go quietly into that good night. They are ready to retake and even up this scoreline and take us to overtime. That being said, Cade, backside Astra, will find one, think as well. Hunter's Fury finds one, as does 7, pushing through the doorway area. The fault line will take 7 out of commission. That being said, the damage has been done. The advantage has been secured for Teal Seam going into this retake.
Spike planted.
Spike goes down now. As the time begins to tick, but net, of course, gets a kill. My Authority will trade it back, and a second on a Tidy, pushing through the smoke, and the 3rd, My Authority again, another 1v3 to keep Rock Bottom alive. My Authority. It seems whenever Rock Bottom need a play, My Authority answers the bat phone and steps up huge. Holy moly.
Huge from My Authority. A nice 3K, a massive 3K when it's needed the most. Backs against the wall. No anxiety, no worries whatsoever. He gets it done. 20 kills to his name now. At the top of the scoreboard with the top dogs. As we are at 10-12. And Teal Seam are again on pistols.
You should run.
They are indeed, and that's going to prime Rock Bottom for a run to a 26th round, Nate. That's a comeback and a half for Rock Bottom, but it's not done just yet. They need to take it to overtime. Then another couple more rounds, and it's a whole another ball game right there, and Rock Bottom could take out Teal Seam. I mean, we were questioning Rock Bottom because of the lack of games in the last few months. The lack of games as a team as a whole. Only one back on April 1st. But it seems that result has not been a joke, Nate. they're putting up some good numbers here. And well, that flash will force Cade away. Cade will get a little bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough. Larry Banks caught out too. And it's crumbling down. Of course, it was expected. It is the Pistols. 7.
Spike planted. Last
Oh,
Tidy does find one. I mean, the judge, you kind of have to expect it. Net does as well on the Sheriff. Of course, he loves that weapon. We talked about it early on in this game. But it doesn't delay the inevitable. Does not get them the upset win on the Eco. It's going to be 11-12 down to the wire for Rock Bottom win here. They take us all the way to overtime in a remarkable comeback on the second half. If Teal Team close it, they do finally recover and end it in regulation. That being said, it is a buy from both teams. The best buy they can get, rifles across the board. It's anyone's for the taking.
It's about as even as you can get. It's about as good as you can get here. This is the first round of the cookout, folks. And already we're having games coming in hot off the grill. This is phenomenal to kick things off. At least a full 26, if not some bonus Valorant. And right now, Rock Bottom are going to try and give us just that. They've bulked up towards the A site. The Killjoy has thrown utility towards A2. Bit of a switch up here from Teal Seam. Astra back as well. That's Caden. There's 3 players still focused over towards B. Out go the swarms. A little bit of damage done to Hijinks, but not all too much.
Very slow round. Rock Bottom, again, just showing a lot of presence, sticking together as a mob. That being said, the big question mark for me here is if they commit. They have to commit at this point. Look at the Jet. She's all the way down the middle. She's ready to listen for the steps and rotation towards B. If they go towards B, I think they'll be caught out.
Right here.
In comes the recon dart. Let's see what my authority can get off of it. Cosmic Divide comes in. There's a Sock 2 and Tidy aggressing down mid. Matt's gone. 7 dealing damage too, but taking some in return. Hijinks gets Cade blind. Quinn and Hijinks now with 2. It's all down to a 2v2 as Larry Banks evens the score line. Spike gets to go down. 14 seconds, and Larry Banks has 3. Larry